Bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a can. Like Daddy, all of the Barbies is pretty. Damn, all of the Barbies is bad. It's girls, and we can play tag. Red, but he spank me.
Hola, bonjour, ni hao, and hello Rockstars. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is an exciting video because it is a book video. And as you can see, we got a ton of books here with us. So today's video is going to be a book rendition video for beginner readers. Like, this is the beginner's guide if you want to get back into reading, or if you're completely new to it, like out of this world type, then this is the video for you. And if you want more bookish content, for more recommendations, then please follow me on my Booktok account, as you can see here. And it's just it's a cool community. We don't judge. Well, I'm not gonna say we don't judge, but we judge politely. Low-key, reason I made this video is because it feels like I've been getting so many questions of like, Roxy, I want to start reading. Where do I start? So I have all these books on my bookshelf, and I'm like, what are the books, if I was new to reading all over again, what are the books I would read? Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Had to throw the glasses on for this one. But the first book we have is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It follows 4 of the Riva kids. They are the kids of a big star from like the 1940s to like 1970s, and his name is Mick Riva. And every year they hold the biggest celebrity party at their house, and it shows you how the party came about, what's leading up to the party. It's like a past and present type timeline. And honestly, this book was just very enjoyable. If you want to look aesthetically pleasing this spring, this summer, this is definitely it, because it was just like, like this book, I could totally just see this as one of those very chill, low-key summer movies that we just need sometimes. Second book from also Taylor Jenkins Reid is Daisy Jones and the Six. This follows Daisy Jones, who is a rich kid, and basically she wants to become a big star, but you're also following a band called the Six, who is also trying to become big stars. And one day their manager is like, how about we just put y'all together? So they put them together, and you're basically watching the rise and fall of the group and all the struggles they had to go through. This book is also an interview timeline, because it's basically like they're interviewing this way into the future now. But y'all, this book will become your entire personality. But this, like, it was just, I don't know, none of this is real, but you are gonna think it's real. That's how good it was. I'm like, Miss Taylor, you had me questioning like life's existence. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you completely sure that this wasn't a real group? Because I don't know what she put in here, but I know it was laced with crack, and I loved it. Next book, which is, y'all, again, one of my favorite books, The Inheritance Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read this last year, and this book, you are following Avery Grams, and her goal in life is just to make it out of high school and just move far, far away from her family. Well, one day she's called to the principal's office, and this guy, he's like, look, my granddaddy died, and you need to come here as well. She's like, I don't know you. Why do I need to come here as well? Only to find out that his granddad was Tobias Hawthorne, which is a like billionaire. He has businesses on top of businesses. And she's like, what would a millionaire like want to do with me? She gets to the will reading, and this is not spoilers or anything, but she gets to the will reading, and she finds out that Tobias left that's a big B, oh my god, I'm sorry, but Tobias left everything to her and nothing to his family. So she inherits all this money, but she's like, why? Like, everyone's asking why and how. So they have to play these games of riddles to figure out how and why she has all of this. This is the first book in a trilogy, and I have the second book, and I really need to read it. But I just know I'm gonna fly through it, and I really want to enjoy it. But this book, like I said, if you just need like a mystery, like a very thrilling mystery, plus like a little of a love triangle, this is it. Next book, which is also very much a 5-star read for me, which is crazy because no one else considers it a 5-star read, but Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. You are following Juliet, and she is imprisoned because she has this gift that that is just shouldn't be shared with the world. Let's say that. And the government figured out about it, and they want to use her as their personal weapon. I'm gonna leave it right there because I feel like if I say anything else, then it's gonna spoil the book. This is the first book in a list of like novellas and other books. Like, it's a long series, but this is the very first book, and I feel like personally, I'm like, this was just a great introduction to like the rest of the series. And I did get the novella because people, they're like, oh, should I read the novella? You don't have to read the novellas, but they're like, if you want more in-depth of the story, you should read the novellas. Read Shatter Me, and some people, they're like, oh, this book wasn't really that good, but then they get to like the second book and they're like, this is the best series ever. Next book, which is one of my favorite books, and I don't even read fantasy, guys. I rarely read fantasy, but this, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. You are following Jude, and she lives in the fairy world, and she's a human. Fairy, like the whole fairy world, mystical world, they hate humans. So it's like in the fairy world, she can't fit in there, but in the human world, she also can't fit in. It's because of what she knows in the fairy world. And basically, she's just like, you guys are gonna stop underestimating me, and I'm gonna like stand my ground. This book is filled with so many plot twists. Like, I was crying because of anger from this book, and I don't cry easily, especially when it comes down to sad books. People be like, oh, I was bawling. It was just, mwah. This book is just chef's kiss. I can go on and on about this book, but I'm not. I'm gonna spare y'all, okay? Just know, read it first in a trilogy. It deserves all the hype. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. This book was just so precious, like, But you are following Libby, whose name everyone knows, but no one really sees her except Jack. Jack is a guy who's friends with everyone, but he doesn't let anyone in except Libby. The two make an unlikely pair, and yet they just might be able to change each other's worlds. Fun fact that you kind of need to know, Libby was once the fattest teen in America. And Jack has a condition called prosopagnosia, where if he looks at you and then turns away and looks back at you, he cannot recognize his face, like can't recognize your face. And honestly, I found that very interesting because I've never heard of it. I never knew it was a condition. But it says it at the beginning of the book if you want to look it up and stuff and just have more knowledge. But this book just holds a special place in my heart. It's just, like I said, the book is precious. Holding Up the Universe, Jennifer Niven. Next book, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This is a very quick, short read. And you're following Asa, and basically a billionaire has like gone missing, and her and her friend, just for the fun of it, decide to look for him. And it's not so much, it's a sad book mostly, but it's like mixed in with mystery. And you see how Asa deals with a little bit of depression, germophobia, and all these other mental health issues. This is more of a mental health book, like how you can see into someone else's world. And it was just beautifully written. I don't have too much to say on this, but I feel like for beginners, then this could definitely open your eyes, because it definitely opened mine. Next book is Normal People by Saga Rooney. This is like one of the OG Booktok books, but basically you are following Connell and Marion, and the best way I can describe this book is just situationship. They've known each other since they were in high school. Marion, she was just the freak, I guess, in her high school, and Connell was the popular one. And you see them go through the years of how they go through different things, and they always find a way back to each other. People will describe this book as very raw and just different. Me, when I read romance, I read like where they actually fall in love with each other. I never read more of a situationship type romance, and it was definitely different, and I definitely recommend it. And honestly, I really did enjoy it. It's short, fast-paced. You can probably read it in 2 days. Getting into like the last few books, and this is my favorite because they're like romances, but You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. This is one of my favorite romances. You're following Naomi and Nicholas, and basically they're fiancés. They're about to get married, but they realize they do not want to marry each other, and that they like despise each other. They hate each other, okay? So they are trying to like, dude, you back out the wedding. He's like, no, you back out the wedding. The reason why they don't want to back out the wedding is because whoever backs out has to pay back everything. And Nicholas' mom basically planned their entire wedding, from her wedding gown to the napkins, and she spent a lot of money on it. because she is rich. So they go on a series of pranks trying to get each other to bail out of this wedding, only to just fall in love with each other more. This is a second chance romance, and it's just another short book, but it's just so, it's hilarious. Like, this book had me laughing out loud, and it's just chef's kiss. Please read this. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Okay, there, y'all can see the cover. I think everybody knows the show by now, but if you didn't know, the show was definitely based off a little trilogy. And okay, Summer I Turned Pretty. You follow Belly. She goes to Cousins Beach every year to spend time with her two best friends, Jeremiah and Conrad. And this summer is different because she's grown up a bit. The boys have grown up a bit, and you are just seeing how different this summer is because she has grown up and has matured in different ways. And honestly, if you want to look sad kissing on the beach, again, this is like a book you should read. Like, and it's very short. Again, you can read this in 2 days, and it's honestly just very fun. You feel the summer vibes for the book. Definitely read this. Next book, People Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Everyone knows Emily Henry is just that comfort author. Like, her books, I don't know, they're just so comforting. But this follows Alex and Poppy, and Poppy is basically a travel journalist. She writes about all these different places. So her and her best friend Alex, from who they met each other in college, they would go on these crazy trips like every summer, until one summer they didn't, and they ended up talking, well, not talking for like 2 years. 2 years later, Poppy reaches out and she's like, do you want to go on one more trip? And Alex said sure. And you're reading the story. It's a past and present timeline. You're reading the story and trying to figure out why they stopped being friends, why they stopped talking, how they became friends, and how they became so close. And this was just, I didn't expect this book to be a 5-star, but when it comes down to friends to lovers books, there's so much tension. It is just chef's kiss. Please read it. Our last book of this video, guys, our very last book, Beach Reads by Emily Henry. This was I'm sorry, you need both Emily Henry books in this video. We are following August, well, Gus, as he goes by in the book, and you are following January. I feel like their names are so cute. But basically, January's dad passed away, and he had this beach house that she has to go and clear out. And who lives beside that beach house is Gus. So they're both authors, and they just can't seem to find motivation to write their new books. So they were just like, oh, how about we just switch genres? I can't tell you what type of genre he writes because everyone says something different, but it's like non-fiction kind of, I don't know. But January is a romance writer, so they're just like, you know what, bet. So they switch genres and they take each other out on these fake dates or these like little adventures so they can get inspiration for their books. And you just need this book, chef's kiss. We went through a lot of books. If you are a new reader, I really hope you take one of these books from this video and you just fall in love with reading like I did, or like every other reader has. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more awesome videos, and make sure you follow me on my social medias if you want to see a little bit more of me. And comment some like book video ideas, because I love doing recommendations, but I do like trying something different. So yeah, peace out, Rockstars.